Alrighty, guys. Thanks for tuning back in to another episode 13 of the No Fire podcast. Been doing this for over 3 months now. It's week number 13.
Yep.
Can you believe that?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. Does it feel like 13 weeks?
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like 13 weeks to me. I would imagine it would be somewhat easier to do this after 13 weeks.
13 weeks is, I feel like, a long time.
It is a long time. That's why I feel like it should be easier to do this. It feels more difficult now than it has ever felt to do it.
I think that's just got a lot to do with everything else we have going on, too.
I don't think so at all. I was thinking, it's just going to be easier for me to talk about things. It's going to be easier for me to set things up. It's going to be easier for me to edit it. Things that would get easier with time as you get used to doing something.
Yeah.
None of that has gotten easier.
Well, I have my own struggles with that stuff, too. Crystal wrapping, photo taking, editing. I feel like I'm not getting any better at that, and I've been doing that since I created my website August of last year.
Yeah, but it's changed a couple times.
Twice. It's only changed twice. No, I mean, it's only changed once. It was set up one way, and then, we switched it around. But since August, and I still can't get it together. So put that in perspective compared to 13 weeks.
Yeah. It's just frustrating when you work on something consistently throughout the week, every single week, over and over and over, and things don't get easier.
Yeah, I get that.
It just makes you want to give up sometimes.
Yeah.
And of course, I feel like dog shit today, so that's not helping my attitude with anything.
I know. I have a bit of a headache myself.
But I just spent, an hour searching for something to fucking talk about. And I finally was like, all right, I'm just going to pick these two because I'm done looking. Like, these are the two stories that I'm going to read off Reddit, and we'll talk about those for a little while. That'll fill up a little gap of space because I couldn't really come up with much this week. I was like, nothing's happening in my life that I feel like is of substance or that I want to talk about. There's nothing. Nothing crazy happens to me.
Yeah.
Nothing exciting.
Well, we did have an eventful Thursday last week.
You'll have to remind me. I don't remember.
About this long. Called you from Walmart and I was stuck.
Oh, yeah.
Things happen to you. Well, they happen to me.
Do you want to tell that story?
You want to tell the story? I mean,
it's always me just fucking talking the entire time, so you can tell the story.
Well, very long story short. Driving home from an already sad situation, and I was maybe 25 minutes away from home. Yeah, right around work, 25, 30 minutes. And I was pulling up to a stoplight, and I was just, I'm slowing down because I'm coming up to the stoplight. And then all of a sudden, I hear this noise that sounds like I, got, a metal pole stuck in my, I don't know, the, rim of my tire, because it sounded like it was, metal hitting metal. And I'm like, what the hell is that? So I instantly call you, because who else do I call? And I'm like, I don't know what I'm hearing. I just know that the noise I'm hearing, it doesn't sound right. And, obviously, in the time, I wasn't sure what was happening, but, every couple of seconds I hear it like a doom, doom, and I wasn't sure what was. It was like metal hitting metal. So, I mean, you get there, or before you get there.
When you called me, I thought it was something wrong with your engine. I didn't think that's not where my head went. I didn't think anything was stuck. I just thought your engine's making a very bad sound right now.
Yeah, because I was putting my phone out the window, driving in the Walmart parking lot, trying to get you to hear it. And which was already a stressful situation, and then I pull over, and the way that I parked, I guess I just parked perfectly to where I'm looking around, looking at the tires, and I could hear that it was coming from the back. So I knew that's where I needed to start, and it sounded like the back right, so that's where I started. And sure enough, you see a nail head.
Yeah.
So I send you the picture. Oh my God, it's
a nail head is an understatement.
Right.
This is a a bolt head.
Yeah, it's like a bolt head, but like still, don't think anything like. I'm like, okay, fucking cool. Ran over a fucking screw. I've run over screwdrivers. I've run over screws. I've popped tires. I've shredded tires. Like, I've had tire issues before.
Mm-hmm.
But never have I ever seen anything come out of my tire like when you started pulling. So you get there, and then, you know, you are working on the thing, trying to pull out the nail, and you're probably not even like a quarter of the way through, and we're looking at it like, oh my God, it's so big.
Yeah, getting a nail in your tire is like normal. That happens all the time. But like getting a bolt in your tire is kind of hard. Even if it was much smaller than the one that we pulled out, like something like that doesn't normally happen. It just by happenstance, it had to be perfectly like angled in order to actually go into your tire.
Yeah.
And I had to use
multiple tools,
a lug nut wrench in order to get it out, to like unscrew it. And it was just so big, so big.
Yeah.
Neither of us could have expected how big it was.
It's like the length of my palm, or like the length of my hand is bigger than my palm. I still have the screw bolt.
Yeah, it's huge.
Massive. I like couldn't throw it away because I was like, this shit was in my car.
Well, getting it out was like a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
But like we got it out and it was fine. But what was funny is that your tire was fully inflated. Like no air was coming out while like the bolt was in there.
Yeah.
And then as soon as we got it out, just the hole was so big it instantly deflated.
Yeah. It took like no time for all the air to come out.
Yeah. And then since the tire was completely deflated but still like mounted on the rim and still mounted on the car, it was so hard to get the plug in there.
Yeah.
You had to like hold the side of the tire so that when I was pushing the plug in, it wasn't just completely like pushing it in. So there was some resistance so I could get the plug in, and the plug worked. We
you
filled
still
it up.
had to make the hole even bigger, even though the hole was already big.
Even though the hole was huge, I still had to use like whatever riveting tool it was to smooth out the hole to get the plug in there. I totally forgot about that. I'm glad you brought it up, because I can't. My memory is so bad. I just can't remember anything that happens.
I mean, I don't have the greatest memory, but that was kind of annoying, and
Yeah.
I was already really upset from the day, and I was like, I would leave the car. I was like, I wanted to leave the car in Walmart. I'm like, just come
the cherry
get me.
on top for the day that you were having. Yeah.
I was having a week, but that was like the last day of the week, and like I'm getting emotional even like thinking about it, because that was just not icing on the cake. I just didn't need it.
Yeah.
Didn't need it to happen. We were there for like over an hour, and I was like, well, while you get here, I might as well go into Walmart and go get the stuff that I need to make dog food, and then that.
Well, I thought that. So, like, in my thought process, this happened at like 9, a little after 9, something like that. So, like, you were on your way home. I was about to cook dinner. We were about to eat and then go to sleep. Like, this was the end of the day type thing.
Yeah.
And then that happened, and we had to go through that. So, like, we went into Walmart, like, after I put the plug in to, like, let it set for a second. I was like, let's just find something to eat. And then, of course, there was nothing like ready to eat that was even remotely like healthy.
Yeah.
So like, all right, well, I don't want to go home and cook dinner at this point. Like, it's 10:30 going on 11.
It was like after 11 at that point.
Yeah. I just didn't want to deal with that. Of course, we go to a restaurant that's supposed to be open till midnight, and it should be open for at least another hour. And we get out of the car, and they're calling last call. And I'm like, ugh.
They were supposed to be open for another like 3 hours.
Were they supposed to? I thought they were open till at least midnight.
I thought they were open till 2.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. Anyways, we found a restaurant. We were able to eat. It was very unhealthy, but
yeah,
we made it happen.
We could have just got unhealthy food at the store, but we just wanted to eat and go home. It was.
Yeah.
I was
wanted the
crying
night to
makes
be
me
over.
Tired.
So what kind of frog does your brother have?
Pac-Man frog.
Pac-Man frog, and he's feeding it baby quail.
Baby quail, little quail. I wish the video quality was better so I could show you it.
Yeah.
He sent me a video today of it. Just.
So is it? Do you know if it's considered like a carnivorous frog?
A carnivorous what's the word? Amphibian?
I mean, frog's amphibian, yeah.
A carnivorous amphibian?
Well, I'm just thinking
I need to
because
read a book. My vocabulary is lacking.
regular frogs eat flies, so like that's carnivorous. But I feel like they also eat maybe plant stuff too, or maybe I'm totally just making this up in my head that I thought that frogs were like kind of like us, like they could eat
I think
plants and meat.
they
kind of
are
thing.
like that. I think so.
But for some reason in my head, when I think of insects, I don't think of them as like meat in my head. It's like a
Yeah.
whole different category.
I know that was like today when I was saying, I was like, for a reptile, like, I'm good with feeding it insects, but anything past that.
It's just a little much. It's like people feed their snakes like live rats. They just
Yeah.
let the
we
rat
grew up
run
with it.
around in the cage and then
You should not do that, actually. You should
Oh,
not
really?
put the rat in its cage. You should be taking the snake out for feeding
Mhm.
because then I don't know if it's like all snakes. We had a ball python growing up.
Yeah.
And we were taught to never feed it in its cage because it might mistaken you coming in its cage as food one time.
Oh.
So you take it out and we would put it in the bathtub and feed it in the bathtub. The rats were always live. It was always,
That sounds traumatic.
I mean, we grew up with so many pets and like I had so many siblings. Like it was just a day to day for
That
us.
was
I
just a
don't know.
normal thing. Yeah, I'm not a snake guy.
I don't care.
Not
I
a
mean,
snake
like
guy.
I don't think I want one as a pet because I really don't want to have to feed it mice.
I wish I was a snake guy.
But I don't mind them.
I think
Out there, I mind them.
I think it's a good thing to have snakes though, right? Because they keep like rats and small pests away.
Like in your yards and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we have a snake living somewhere. We have their skin shed.
Yeah, I don't want the dogs to have to deal with it
No.
because I don't think the snake's really going to hurt the dogs that bad.
You never know, though.
Oh, maybe Charlie. The other two will probably be fine, but it's more of like I don't want Ghost to get a hold of a snake and then she fucking eats some of it and it's got some sort of disease or something. Maybe snakes don't carry diseases. I don't know. I don't know how that really works.
Me either.
I know there's armadillos can potentially have leprosy or something like that. I don't know. I was always told to never touch an armadillo when I
I've
was
never
a kid.
touched an armadillo. I wouldn't. They look like hard rodents.
I think they're cool looking, kind of. When I think of armadillos, I think of the Adam Sandler movie with the little kid. Fuck.
Big Daddy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The armadillo that like, or is that a kangaroo?
It's a kangaroo.
Why am I thinking
I don't know.
armadillo?
Kangaroo song. Kangaroo song. Kangaroo song.
I feel like somebody dresses up as an armadillo in that movie.
Scuba Steve.
No, not Scuba Steve. I know who Scuba Steve is. Maybe the kangaroo just looks like an armadillo.
He kind of does look his face is kind of armadillo-y.
He's got like that weird nose thing. Yeah, that doesn't look like a kangaroo to me. I don't know where I got armadillo from, but
That's okay. It's been a long time.
oh well.
Not for me. I saw the movie recently.
What I do have written down is some space facts.
Ooh.
So space has always been something that's kind of fascinating to me. And just recently, I don't know, I feel like I'm hearing more about it. And then we had, the solar eclipse and everything. So I was like, oh, maybe it'd be fun to like find out like some space facts. And I was reading stuff about it. And while it was interesting to me, I don't know if it's really that interesting. But I wrote a couple things down that I thought were like, oh, well, that's kind of cool. So the rings that are around planets? I always think I'm thinking of Saturn when I'm thinking of rings.
Yes.
But Saturn's not the only planet that has rings. Neptune, Jupiter, and Uranus also have rings.
Yes.
But I feel like they're all different.
What do you mean?
So Saturn's rings are made up of sparkly water and ice. And that's why they look so like defined and so like, ring-like around the planet. And my brain can't really comprehend like is it the gravitational pull that's around the planet that keeps everything in place there? Why is it flat like that? Like how does it come to be that a ring is a ring around a planet.
Mm-hmm.
I could understand how things would just float like in, some like a sphere
Like a
type
orbit,
thing.
yeah.
Like in orbit, but not necessarily in like a ring. It like makes sense because you see like sci-fi movies and you see things, kind of rotating around things in a ring pattern, but it doesn't make sense in my brain that it would, be in a line like that.
Yeah.
So the rings of the other planets are made up of just dust and rocks. But Saturn's different because it's water and ice and a sparkly material that makes it like cool looking.
It is cool.
Yeah, I was reading all these different facts about the different planets. So I'm trying to think of, so there's a moon called Titan, and I can't remember what planet Titan is a moon to, but Titan is bigger than Mercury is. So how do they classify like a planet as a planet? Because Pluto's not a
Maybe
planet anymore.
it's
It's a dwarf planet.
The chemical build of it, I don't know.
Maybe it's the chemical build. I always just thought it was size. I was like, oh, big rock floating in space, rotating around the sun, planet.
Yeah, I feel like that's what I would have initially thought.
I thought that's where they got the classification, but apparently not.
It's probably going to be what it's made of.
I don't know.
You may Google it?
No. I read a bunch of stuff about it, and I didn't see anywhere that, like, I bet you there is, like, a specific answer for it. And I was reading about, like, how many years on Earth it is for, like, other planets and, like, how exponential it is. It'll be, like, hundreds of years for 1 year on a different planet because of how far away they are from the sun.
Yeah.
So one lap around the sun is 1 year to them, but it's like 160 years here. So 1 year on a different planet. We died and born again and then died again before 1 year passed.
That's crazy.
So the rings thing was something that I wrote down, but one of the things I read about was the largest volcano in the solar system.
I didn't know that was a thing. Volcanoes in the solar system.
There's volcanoes on moons. There's volcanoes on a bunch of different planets, but the biggest one in the entire solar system is on Mars. It's called Olympus Mons, and it's 374 miles across. It's the size of Arizona.
It's a big boy.
So it's the size of Arizona, and it's 16 miles high, which is 3 times the height of Mount Everest. So our tallest mountain is 3 times smaller than this volcano. It's a massive volcano.
Crazy.
Mars is also a much bigger planet than Earth is.
Yeah.
Mars also has the largest canyon, which is as long as the entire United States.
Wow.
I think it's like 10 times the size of the Grand Canyon.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand the planet's a lot bigger, so.
But like when I like read about these things like the volcano and the canyons, so what I felt like I learned growing up, which must not be true, I don't know why I had this in my brain, and maybe you can relate to this. When I was a kid in like science class, I always thought that they told me if there's water on a planet, that means that there's life on a planet. Did I just make that up?
I don't know.
There's water on like all the planets, so it's not true.
Well, yeah.
But in my head, I was like, if there's water somewhere, that means there's maybe a single cell organism or some type of biology going on that would create life in some way or another. Because like when I think of water, I think of like algae and, things mixing together and creating different. That's just not a thing on other planets, apparently. So we've established that I'm an idiot and that water doesn't necessarily mean life. A lot of the planets are like active, I would say. There's storms on planets. There's, clearly if there's volcanoes, there's tectonic activity and magma and things that are going on in the planet that are keeping it hot in some way. I don't know. None of it makes sense to me. It's all interesting to read about, though.
That's nice that you just read up on the solar system.
I was trying to find something to talk about.
I love the solar system. I love Saturn. I think that's my favorite planet. What's your favorite planet? You
Earth.
don't have a favorite planet? Earth.
Earth.
Lame.
This is the coolest looking planet out of the bunch. They're all kind of just like these weird color blends. Earth is like, you can see the water and the plant life, and
It's true.
it's just
I'm just saying, if you had to pick another planet that wasn't Earth.
I think reading about all the cool solar system facts made me think Earth was even cooler, because it's like nothing else has any fucking life on it.
Yeah.
Earth is just so unique in that way. And I was reading about stuff. It just really revealed to me how much we don't know about space.
Yeah.
They were like, yeah, this guy was looking through a telescope about 6 years ago, and he's pretty sure that there's another planet in our solar system that's bigger than all the other planets. But we're not sure. I'm like, what? What do you mean you're not sure?
That doesn't make sense.
So we sent, NASA sent the Voyager out in the 70s to like take pictures of stuff. It's going to be in our solar system for, I think they said like 16,000 years before it gets out of our solar system,
Oh, shit.
which doesn't encompass all of space. Like, it's just our solar system with our planets and stuff. That's just how big our solar system is.
Did you see that NASA was sending off rockets into the solar eclipse? Yeah.
Why?
I can't remember what they were called. Oh, I should have looked it up. I didn't realize that you were doing space research.
Do you know why they sent them up there?
For something. I can't remember. I've read it. Literally not that. I just read it. Launches 3 rockets during the eclipse in Virginia. We'll be sending rockets into the path of Monday's total eclipse in an effort to help unravel the mysteries of the solar system. NASA astronaut Stephen Bowen joined CBS News to discuss some of the scientific aspects of the eclipse. It's his interview or whatever.
To take videos of it?
I don't know what the rockets are gonna do. I should watch the video, but I don't want to watch it right now while we're.
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird, I guess.
I think it's good for informational purposes.
Yeah, so I would imagine they're doing video. And
Yeah.
measuring things or something like that.
It's got to be video, because what else would they bring back from there?
I have no idea.
I don't know. That's cool though. I want to see footage of what maybe they got some good. Oh, imagine those photos for the solar eclipse.
I would hope they would be pretty good.
I'll look it up after this. Because now
Oh,
I'm curious.
I had a solar system related question to ask you. So during the time when I was learning about space and, going to school and stuff, at some point Pluto became no longer a planet. And I feel like I didn't know until long after it actually became a planet. What year would you say Pluto got its planetary name taken away? It was no longer a planet.
I'm going to say 2008.
It was 2006.
Oh, it was close.
So I thought it happened in high school for me.
No, I remember it happening.
But yeah, it was way before then.
Young. I guess I should have gone. Yeah.
Yeah, 2006. I'm trying to think of what grade I was in 2006. Fifth, fourth.
You had to be
Fourth grade.
I graduated 2011.
Yeah.
So I was a
So you're in
freshman.
8th grade? Or a freshman. I mean,
Yeah.
2006 encompasses both years. Yeah.
Yep.
I thought it happened 2010. I thought I was in high school, but
No, I
Apparently
remember it
not.
happening. I remember still being in school. That's why I was trying to think back of where was I? What classroom was I in?
my 36 male wife, 34 female, invited a former college friend to stay at our house, and she won't even be home. Am I crazy for feeling uncomfortable about it? Just by the title, I'm I'm on your side. My 36 male, wife 34 female, and I own a small house together in a mountain town. We don't have children, just a couple of pets. And we both have a handful of close friends that have spent the night in our guest room, but it's always been people that we're both close with. Yesterday, completely out of the blue, my wife tells me that her friend Tyler is going to be staying at the house Saturday and Sunday night. And I thought in my own head, Tyler, do I know a Tyler? I've never heard of a Tyler. I asked who Tyler is, and she said she went to college with him, but hasn't seen him in 15 years. He's on a road trip and will be passing through town. He DM'd her on IG 2 months ago and mentioned that he was coming through town, and she offered our house as a place to stay. She didn't mention this to me until yesterday. Then I realized my wife isn't going to be in town this weekend. She is traveling to an event out of state. I was a bit puzzled and said something like, "Help me understand this. Your friend from college that hasn't seen you in 15 years is staying at our house this weekend. You're not even going to be here, and you didn't think about asking me how I felt about it prior to 3 days before he shows up?" She was totally caught off guard and didn't at all understand why this made me a little uncomfortable. I asked how she would feel if the tables were turned, and she said that it wouldn't bother her. I think she was being stubborn. Would I feel different if it were a female friend? I don't think so. It's just the fact that this person is a stranger to me and obviously isn't close with her. I was hoping for a peaceful weekend. I had a few plans. I wanted to get some projects done, and now I feel like I'm going to be babysitting a stranger in my own home. Am I totally out of line here, or is this something that would make other people in this situation uncomfortable? Would others think this is inconsiderate? I'm stuck on the fact that my wife invited this person to stay without mentioning it to me, then made plans to leave town and still never mentioned it to me or told Tyler things changed and she's no longer going to be around. Sorry.
You're fine. It's funny. I would be pissed.
Yeah. Every part of the scenario. So this is a college friend who she hasn't talked to in 15 years.
Yep.
It could have been your best friend in college. If you haven't talked to them in 15 years,
You're
it's
obviously
a no.
not that close.
It's a no.
And I mean, the guy reached out to her, which is even weirder. And like, she's married.
Not like called her on the landline phone that she used to have. Messaged her on IG. If you went to college 15 years ago, like, you're 40?
Yeah.
Well, I guess maybe you don't go to college when you're 25.
It depends.
But like, you're at least like in your mid 30s at this point.
Yeah. That's no.
You haven't seen this person since they were like 20 years old. That would be weird.
There's no way. There's absolutely no way.
And then she's not even going to be in town.
Yeah. More pissed.
Come stay with my husband that you've literally never met before.
He's literally babysitting.
That is so weird.
That's not fair to him.
Yeah. 0 out of 10. Your wife, divorce her. Get her out of here.
All right.
She's a Looney Tune. Now, I just... What?
There's no way.
Yeah, it just doesn't even make sense to me. Why would she think that that's okay? And then it's like, it's too late to cancel on him because then he would have to... fuck it. Tell him to get a hotel.
I mean, you are very easygoing, and like, there's really not much we ever argue about, and I would not do that to you. Yeah, I would not. I feel like it would make you uncomfortable, and I don't know why she didn't think about it from his perspective.
Some strange dude just staying in the house.
No.
It would make me feel more comfortable if it was a female, personally, because then I could feel like I could defend myself. But if it's another guy, then I'm like, what if he's bigger and stronger than me?
Oh, nobody's bigger and stronger than you, babe.
I'm not that stupid. Plenty of people are bigger and stronger than me. I'm just bigger and stronger than the majority of people.
Exactly.
In my own head, at least. Yeah, there was a funny Reddit one that I had picked out, but I can't remember a single thing about it now. But
lame.
It was a funny one. Maybe I'll find it again. We'll see. So anyways, for the relationship corner, don't be inviting your college friends to come stay in your house without letting your partner know. Not just letting your partner know, but asking them if it's okay.
Having a conversation about it.
It's not just your home, it's both of your homes. And if they're not okay with it, that shouldn't start an argument either. Just because you don't want some stranger staying in your house, it's your house. You get to say whether you're okay with that. So, yeah. If Tyler's that great of a college friend, then she can pay for him to stay in a hotel.
Yeah, that's sketchy though. Why would she pay for him?
Well, if she agreed that he could stay there, and then
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
yeah, that's just the type of person I am.
Yeah, I know.
So I was thinking about something. We went to the store today, and it's always so hard to decide what to get because I feel like there's so few meals that I actually enjoy that aren't like such a hassle to make. Like most things are a hassle to fucking make.
Mm-hmm.
They just involve so many steps and so many different ingredients that like you're only going to use such like a fraction of that ingredient. Like I'm making mashed potatoes and I had to buy milk just to make mashed potatoes. And if we didn't have to buy butter, I would have had to buy butter. And like, yes, you can make mashed potatoes without milk and butter, but they're not going to taste good. So we had to buy those two ingredients specifically for the mashed potatoes. And it's like, okay, well now the mashed potatoes have become $15 mashed potatoes and not, the $2 that they were from getting the potatoes.
Yeah.
But I'm getting off topic here. I was thinking more along the lines of protein and like having like being able to switch your protein up enough that you can create different meals with it.
Yeah.
It's so hard because they tell you that you shouldn't be eating red meat more than once or twice a week. And if you do eat red meat once or twice a week, it should be a lean cut of red meat. So like a sirloin or like probably not even lean ground beef. Lean ground beef is,
No.
sirloin.
Ew, I'm not doing that.
Filet has like micro fats in it, which makes it super tender. But there's not like big, like, yes, filet is still a lean cut of meat.
They're tender.
Very tender.
And delicious.
Expensive is what it is.
Yes.
But as I was saying, protein.
Mm-hmm.
Other than like ground turkey, ground chicken, chicken breast, chicken tenderloins, not even chicken thighs because chicken thighs aren't that healthy for you. But like those four, other than that, what kind of protein are you supposed to get to like switch up your diet but yet still stay healthy and be eating within like a protein level that you should be eating, but not including saturated and trans fats and upping your cholesterol? Like, what else are you supposed to be eating?
Fish.
Fish have lots of like fats and oils in them. Even I love salmon. It's a fatty protein though. And like a lot of it is good fat, don't get me wrong, but good fats in large portions are still bad for you.
Yeah.
It's just hard to find proteins that there's only so much you can do with chicken or so much that you can do with ground turkey to change it into something else to make it something fun to eat for
right.
breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, I agree.
You run out of options so quick, and it's like, okay, well, I want to eat beef now. Like, I want ham. I want these other meats. Ham is so fucking bad for you. Pork, not great for you. But yeah, I wish there was a cookbook that had chicken recipes in it. Like all the different things you can do with a chicken breast.
I'm sure there's got to be something along those lines.
But yeah, if they had like a cookbook that just had every recipe imaginable for what you can do with a chicken breast or every recipe imaginable what you can do with ground turkey, just to give you all of the options. Because then if you had multiple ways to make these different good proteins for you, and then you could also switch up your carbs. You could do rice one day. You could do sweet potatoes or regular potatoes or, some type of noodle or something or a salad of some sort. I don't want chicken Caesar salad to be one of the options.
Yeah.
No, I want you to tell me how to cook the chicken differently to make it taste completely different. Because barbecue pulled chicken and just a sauteed chicken breast tastes completely different. The flavor profile is different. The texture is completely different. So give me all the options. Give me all the sauce options. Give me all the different cooking methods.
All the ingredients.
Maybe I need to come up with this cookbook. Maybe this is my calling. I just have about 4 options right now, and I need to expand them into more. Because I'm tired of eating the same thing over and over and over and over again.
I know, which is why we started doing Home Chef. But then that just got, I don't know. I was over almost all the meals.
Well, they keep sending you the same, 20 meals over and over again. Because you have to exclude what you don't like or what, and there's a couple things that we don't like and that we don't want. And then, a meal would be, a fucking bowl of soup. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but that's not a fucking meal.
And then it'd be a protein and either a veggie or a starch of some sort. And that we like to have both. We like to have veggie and starch with our protein.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but if the meal's not over 700 calories, it's probably not going to be enough to fill you up.
Yeah.
And it's fine if a meal is 700 calories. It doesn't mean that it has to be a small meal, but if you're eating a 5-ounce chicken breast and 5 pieces of zucchini, it's not going to fill you up.
No.
You just had 30 grams of protein or whatever, but
still not enough.
It was also 400 calories and you're starving.
Yep.
Yeah, food can be difficult sometimes. Sometimes it's super easy and sometimes it's just not. This is one of those weeks where everything is irritating me.
Mercury's in retrograde.
Mercury's been in retrograde. When the fuck is it going out of retrograde?
The 25th.
Well, it needs to happen a little bit fucking faster.
Yeah, I know. Everybody's frustrated. Everybody's irritated. Everybody's energy's off. It's just part of the transition, and all you can do is just take it day by day. But trust me.
Okay, so the 25th, my life is going to drastically improve because Mercury will no longer be in retrograde.
Probably the 26th, it'll drastically improve.
All right, I'll be looking forward to it.
Yeah, keep that optimistic mindset. And
yeah, you know me.
It.
Optimistic me.
Honey, I'm not always optimistic either. I literally had to force myself to get my tasks done all week this week. All week.
Yeah.
You know how much laundry I've done this week?
A lot.
And I still have my clothes to wash, not including the 5 loads I've done this week.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of laundry.
It is.
That's just one of the tasks. I'm tired too. That's what I just keep telling myself. Mercury's in retrograde. We're all going to feel better soon.
I wish I could share that sentiment with you.
I wish you could too.
Yeah. My brain just doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
I think we can call it here. Now that the dogs have finally settled, we'll just wrap it on up. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We have been doing this for 13 weeks now.
Long weeks.
Can't wait to tune back in for week 14. Every Thursday, you can see the video format on YouTube or the audio format on Spotify. Check us out on TikTok at No Fire Podcast or Instagram at No Fire Pod, and we will see you guys next week.